All right, remember this? 9/25/2014. Cornerstone removed. The Elites timeline. And then the day before, September 24th, Obama UN meeting defending Islam. The abomination, Obama's nation, the script. Daniel 12:11, from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days. So from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and abomination that makes it desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days. September 25th, 2014, add to 1,290. This is where I came up with April 7th, 2018 being the beginning of wars and rumors of wars. And I have the videos to prove it. I don't feel like going back into it. Or I might. Maybe I will. Okay, so here's the shortest version of it. Hey guys, it's me again.
Was rejected. Ceremonial law back in September 25th of 2014. It's 1,290 days since the daily sacrifice was taken away, and that lands on April 7th.
Notice April 2nd.
Blessed is he who waits to the evidence of chemical weapons used in Syria. Clear. German Chancellor Angela Merkel said Tuesday that the evidence of an alleged chemical attack in Syria's Douma was clear. On April 7th, several Syrian opposition online media outlets reported, citing militants, that the Syrian army had used chlorine in the town of Douma and killed up to 70 people.
This guy here, Blazing Press, he was all over it that same week, talking about, guys, I think World War III can start any minute now. And then, as you can see afterwards, peace is breaking out all over the world. God has answered, and other news. But he deleted all those videos. I don't know why you would do that, but up to 4 months ago, and then as recent as 10 months. But it was every day was wars and rumors of wars, and we can break out any moment. So even Decoding End Times, April 14th, 2018, is World War III coming? Trump will get reelected for second term. Just go back to, that's this video here. And before, let's see, End Days movie, Trump, World War III, coming soon, you know, to a theater near you, right? Same thing, April 10th, 3 days afterwards, looking at, you know, this war, high watch. So the point being, from that point on, people did start talking about this verse right here. Matthew 24:6, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye not be troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. These are just the beginning of sorrows. Now, it's something interesting about the number 39 and the number 40 in the Bible. 39 stripes, 40 stripes. They don't ever want to go past 40. But now the pregnancies are now 39 weeks and not 40. And in a dramatic rise in late preterm births or babies born between 34 and 36 weeks, was also seen between 1992 and 2002. So between 34 and 40, but these are more rare, I guess, 34 and 36. So between 37, 38, 39, 40, the regular birth happens. So you remember all this talk, September 23rd, 2017, being the conception, but yet June 21st or 23rd was expected to be the rise of the Antichrist, but it didn't happen that way. Let me just go back to April 7th, 2018 and continue with the Elite's timeline. Let me just go ahead and continue. 1,335 days. Blessed is he who waits. So, if anything, this would be one of the reasons why the elite are saying Agenda 2021, because they think they have at least another 3 years to go. Now, what I'm saying is April 7th was the beginning of making it desolate. So, okay, if you add 9 months of a true normal pregnancy, that would be on January 7th. 7 days after, a week after the new year. Now, because there's births are a little bit earlier these days, you can go with 39. Just type in 39, see where that goes. All right, January 5th. 38 weeks of pregnancy. December 29th. So apparently, to get to December 28th, it would be 37 weeks and 6 days. But I believe that this is really referring to somewhere in that 9-month pregnancy that you don't know the date or the hour, but you know the season and the month and the year. Now, let me go backwards. Let me start from blessed is he who waits to that day, 1,335, and subtract it from December 28th. Brings you to May 3rd, 2015. And then let me subtract 1,290 days from that date. That brings you to October 21st, 2011, which is this morning right here. Now, let me go from December 28, 2018 and subtract 7 years, 7 months, and 7 days. And that brings you to May 21st, 2011, which is this date right here. Okay? You can deny that this means anything, but you can't deny that the numbers line up dead on. And then let's take another familiar number, which is 42 months, to continue for 42 months. Subtract, and it lands on June 28th, 2015, which was my 39th birthday. 40 stripes he may give him and not exceed, lest if he should exceed and beat him above these many stripes, then thy brother should seem vile unto thee. So that's why of the Jews 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one, which is 39. Because he's talking here about, I speak as concerning reproach as though we had been weak. How about whereinsoever any is bold? I speak foolishly, I am bold also. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? so am I. Are they the ministers of Christ? I speak as a fool. I am more in labors, more abundant, in stripes above measure, in prison, more frequent, in deaths often. Of the Jews 5 times received I 40 stripes, save 1. Thrice was I beaten with rods, once was I stoned, thrice I suffered shipwreck. And night and a day I have been in the deep, in journeys often, in pearls and waters, and pearls and robbers, and pearls by mine, my own countrymen, and pearls by the heathen, and pearls in the city, and pearls in the wilderness, and pearls in the sea, among the false brethren, in weariness and painfulness, in watching often, in hunger and thirst, and fasting often, in cold and nakedness. Now, Christ was born in 7 BC. According to this false prophet here, right here. According to that false prophet, he was born in 7 BC, which made him 39 years old. But he started his ministry 3.5 years. 3.5 years beforehand. So remember, save the date, okay? Save the date. Judgment Day, billboards from California to Iraq. Save the date. Save both dates. Both of them.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you.
What are they laughing for? He's just an idiot?
You fool me, you can't get fooled again.
You fool me, can't get fooled again. Guys, you fool me once, you can't fool me again. So, I look back 42 months before when this date's coming up, which was on June 28th, 2015. And I look back to see if I was awake then or not, because I wasn't sure. And then what I seen was, hold on. What I seen was Caitlyn Jenner, okay, June 28th. This was absolutely when I started to wake up, because it was one of my first impressions of him, which was like, word, I don't know. I don't know if I want to be a man or I want to be a woman. I'm not sure which one I want to be. So I did that a lot, and I made my wife laugh, obviously, because it was pretty damn funny for her anyway. So, and then I remember Obama talking about the transgender bathrooms where, whatever you feel like being, you just go ahead and go into that bathroom. He kept interrupting the sports games when I was watching them. He kept interrupting football, basketball. I was sick. I got sick of it. But thanks, Obama, because you truly helped me wake up again, because you make me so sick. Now, this was when he, him, shim, her was getting ready to have that show about transgenders in the summer of 2015. So needless to say, this is when I stopped sanding my hoods. I stopped from being Robin Hood's design to Robin's Hood on YouTube. Here's the 2 that I sold. And it still gets 1 view per hour. So I get 24 views a day for this one. Let me see if I can see if they have dates to when the last time I sold it. I can't really find it. It just says more than a year ago, which was the first sell, and then the second sell. Either way, I started the eBay account on October 3rd, 2012. But that was just to log in and just buy stuff. I didn't actually start making hoods until at least a couple years later. You see this a year past this date, and I said to myself, well, I might as well just get back to life again, start doing something besides carpentry. So that's why I started to do this, to make the hoods. Yeah, so Bruce Jenner, I'll do my own show if my ex-wife is out of the picture. So that was on January 1st, 2015. So the show that he got was in the summer of this year.
11 states, including Texas, are suing the Obama administration over its directive which tells U.S. public schools to let transgender students use the bathrooms and locker rooms that match their gender identity.
So now let me start with the end of the year. Let's add those 3 days, 3.5 days. Let me subtract 7 years in the 7th month and the 17th day. Friday, May 14th, 1948. May 14th, 1948, nation of Israel became a nation again. 70 years are determined. Doesn't say. Let me go to it. And the ark rested in the 7th month on the 17th day of the month upon the mountains. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the 1st day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark, sent a raven forth to and fro until the waters were dried up. And he sent a dove in him to see if the waters were abated from the face of the ground. He found no rest for his soul, and returned to him, put forth his hand, pulled, and stayed yet other 7 days. And again he sent forth out of the ark, and the dove came into him evening in her mouth, with the olive leaf plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from the earth. He stayed yet other 7 days. There's something about 14 days here. I haven't figured that one out, but it came to pass 600 year on the first year, the first month, and the first day of the month. But again, it doesn't say which month. It just says it's the first year, the first month, the first day, and everybody has a different year and a month with the calendars. So it's hard to say what it's really talking about, but it is talking about a first year in the first month, on the first day of the month. So at midnight, the first day, first year of the month, subtract 7 months and 17 days is the 70th year anniversary of the nation of Israel becoming a nation again. Now this, I'm just throwing this out there. Today's 11/11. I don't know, I guess it's an important day. If you get a 40-day notice, December 21st, if for the next 7 days comes to December 28th, 2018, and then you got the 3.5 days, which comes to January 1st, midnight, at New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. And if you take the 52 total, 52 days, it's Wednesday, January 2nd, 2019, in the midst of the week. Now, January 1st, 2011, the beginning of the awakening process that happened. I believe SJD was promised to rule the White House like he's... I mean, it's just the way it seems, the way he claims. He owns Donald Trump, he owns the White House, and he's in a season of rest right now. But he's been at it for 10 years. So when you add the 10 years, well, actually it's that's January 1st, 2021. But I believe that this is the beginning of for the next, well, 2019, all of 2019, all of 2020, and all up to 2021, that I think he's claiming that he's, you can comment in the comment section, Steve. Is that true, that you're going to reign and rule the White House at the beginning of 2019? Somewhere along the line you said that you were at this for 10 years now. And the last 7 years was the season of rest. Revelation 11, it was given me a rod, a reed like unto a rod, and an angel stood, saying, Arise, measure the temple of God, and altar, and them that worship therein. But leave the court which is without the temple, leave out, and measure it not, for it is given to the Gentiles. I believe until the fullness of the Gentiles, right? And the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months. And I will give, this sounds like the last 42 months, up until I believe we're going to be finished with our testimony, December 28th, which is 8 months exactly to the day that I made my video saying that I was finished with my testimony back in April 28th. Because of April 7th being Wars and Murmurs of Wars, I was looking at the 21 days in Daniel, and but I think I was 8 months ahead of time. So, but I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. These are the 2 olive trees, 2 candlesticks standing before God. And if any man will hurt them, fire proceeded out of their mouth, and devoured their enemies with the word of God. And if any man will hurt them, he must be in this manner killed. So you have the 1,260 days, which is similar to the Revelation 12 sign, which has nothing to do with 9/23/2017. I believe this has everything to do with May 21st, 2011. But that's just me, because I'm a false prophet, and so is Harold Camping. So he drew a third part of the heaven, and did cast him to the earth, and the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she was brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her cup, and her child was caught up to God and to his throne. This wasn't just one child, it was 144. But that's just my opinion. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared that they should feed her there for 1,260 days. Because this is when, Michael and his angels fought against the dragon fought against his angels and prevailed not. And they were cast out. And because the devil, Satan, which deceived the whole world, he was cast out to the earth, and his angels with him. And he was wrought with the woman, so he, dragon saw that he was cast to the earth, and he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. But she had a place, the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place where she is nourished for a time, times, and a half a time from the face of the serpent. That's 3.5 of something, right? So let's go back to this 1,260 days that is connecting to the man-child, which is not just one child. And same with the 2 witnesses. I believe the 2 witnesses is everybody that has the Holy Spirit in them that's prophesying right now. But these 2 witnesses are also these two prophets that tormented them that dwell upon the earth. So May 21st, 2011, when you add the 1,260 days, it brings you to November 1st, 2014. And November 1st, 2014 is All Saints Day, November 1st, the meaning and the history. So, I take November 1st, blessed is he who waits to the 1335th day. I don't know what it is, but these dates keep landing on my birthday. I don't know what it means. Maybe it means nothing at all, but it's just pretty damn ironic how that keeps happening. So either way, I was blessed to wait till my 42nd birthday. And then just wait 6 more months exactly until I believe that we'll be finished with our testimony. Because the number, the 1290, the 1260, the 1335, and the 42 months is used time and time and time again in the Bible, all throughout the Bible. And I seen this too. Someone commented, does that say filthy in the background? 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 7, and delivered just Lot vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. For that righteous man dwelling among them and seeing their and hearing vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds, their filthy conversation. From day to day, every single day, day after day after day after day, after day after day after day. New York fallen, the baby being born, the serpent looking to devour it as soon as it's born. According to the elite, they did, but they won't. Third eye. Looks like the baby was devoured. Or overdosed on pills and needles. I don't know. Market, war, Washington. I don't know, this person here looks dead with a wounded eye. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. But this here is a gift, and this is AI. And for some reason this is a man, as you can tell the little wee there, opening up the gift. Draining the swamp. Trying to stop war. Maybe there's a peace treaty ordeal and then it's too late. New Year's Day. Nah, that's it. And here he comes, rising up. He's right with the woman. That's what that looks like to me. Even though it's not really a woman, but tormenting it. The serpent cast out his mouth water as a flood after the woman that she might be caused her to be carried away to flood, and the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened up her mouth and swallowed up the flood, which the dragon cast out of his mouth. The dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which kept the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. I believe this already happened 7 years ago, but they're 7 years behind. Because it's the first woe. First woe, because the devil has come down to you having great wrath, knowing he has but a short time. When they shall finish the testimony of the beast that ascendeth, the one that already came out 7 years ago, out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall come them and kill them. You know, on TV, and or just kill us from YouTube, silencing our voice. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of great city, great America, the Babylon, which spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also the Lord was crucified. And they of the people and kindreds, tongues, and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half after, well, and shall not suffer their dead bodies put in the graves. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and shall send gifts to one another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth. And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life of God entered into them, and then they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. I don't know, something's telling me that 3 days before Christmas, December 22nd, 3.5 days before, it seems like their dead bodies shall lie in the street, the great city. All the people, kindreds, and tongues, and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half. Shall not suffer their dead bodies put in the graves, because we're not really going to be killed. Okay. And on top of that, the grave is the second death. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and shall send gifts to one another. Here's a gift. AI takeover. Because these two prophets tormented them that dwell upon the earth. So take the 22nd, add the 3 days. Obviously you come to Christmas. And then add another 3 days. It's December 28th. Okay. Now, I would like to leave this, but I can't, because Elite, you guys think that this is the end here. But the problem is, you're going to make merry, send gifts to one another. 3.5 days, and then after 3.5 days. 3.5, 7 from Christmas, New Year's Day. Good luck with your plan, guys. From midnight to midnight, Christmas to New Year's Eve.